Hi, folks. It's time for another Art Time with Nick. This week will be a little different as I had planned not to be able to do this. I was going to travel, and the weather has made the roads a little unpleasant in my area, so I'm staying home. That being said, I'm going to do some art. I have a collaboration request from Joe Bachman, where I'll actually be collaborating with some work already done by his lovely wife, Trelena. And so we'll probably knock that out first, and then we're going to see. So what we're going to do, this is going to be a little different. Let's get into it first and foremost. All right, this is where we normally live. We can go in here. You say open instead of new. I know, a little odd, but we're getting there. And it's going to bring up downloads, and that's a picture that's in the works. Oops, you guys got a preview. But I need to go to go to Baroom and open this up. Now, the reason I'm working directly off of this as a file, or at least I want to have access to it, is I'll be able to make sure the sizing is perfect because Joey, who had Trey do the work on it, already has everything lined up, and this is going to be converted into a wood burnt process through a method that Joe uses. So we're going to just try to do the art. Now, the poem, let me look at who's in the chat. Oh, good afternoon, Blue Teddy. If you want to hang out, you're more than welcome. If you want me to send you a link and chat, you can do that too. You just tell me what you're in the mood for. But right now, I'm going to do this. So I need a new layer. Now, the only downside is this is on white, so it's not going to be transparent. It would be easier for me if it were transparent because then I could put it behind. But we'll figure something out. Let me come. We're on the right layer, so I don't need to mess with that anymore. And obviously, I want a separate layer so I don't mess up this lovely calligraphy. And the poem is about what would happen if an Ent got the One Ring. And it's quite spooky. Quite spooky. So I definitely am going to want my good pen. I may even go for the textured pen, but I think I'll stick with the good pen for now. And we'll go to our good buddy, a nice light blue. Now she wants, well they want an Ent. I hope you all can hear me okay. If there's an audio problem, let me know. And I may try to put the music on. Let's see if I can get them. Wait. Oh, okay. Click the channels thing. I honestly, well, let me see. What's that? I don't know how to do that. But I will certainly try to figure it out. Nope, that's not what I need. Oh, I'll work on another layer and I will try and mess with that because if I can later, I will put it behind. Thank you for the advice, Johnny. I just have to figure out how one would do that. I'm still relatively new to Clip Studio. That's fine. If you just want to relax, honestly, I'm relaxing today too. I very much overdid it. I don't want to look too dragonic, but I'm just going to lightly piecemeal this in because it's got to look. I don't want to completely reference the original picture, because if they had wanted the original picture, they could just use that. And see, that looks too dramatic. Well, a tree dragon does have appeal, so let's tinker with this a bit. Let's tinker with this, because I don't even know what I'm doing yet. And oh, I need the room. I definitely need the room to work here. Let me get this as zoomed in as I dare try to fit on my monitor, with things being as squirrely as they are known to be. There we go. Now, go back to my pen. You know what? Well, I'll start. It's going to sound funny, but I'm going to start with a person build. Right? Why am I starting with kind of a long neck person? Because it's a framework that I can see it. And I have to remember this is an Ent. And Ents are tree people. So we'll start much more with a person build. Maybe more barrel chest. See, the layout is getting me. I'm getting caught in the layout. So I may have to do something different, but let's just vaguely person build this out. What I love is I don't have to do the hands right. At all. That's right. That's true. You gotta do one hand left. Getting almost Cthulhuian on it. Is kind of fun. And also, I don't know how long this video will be. I'm having some more physical issues right now. So we're just going to see. So far, my hands are fairly steady. We're just going to hope that it stays that way. I'm also thinking I have to do this for somebody to wood burn. So it needs to be... Oh, I like that. I like the gnarly joints there. Hey, look, AI hands. I'm kidding. That it's from the side, so there. I want to blast radius. But I'm all about the branch antler horn Don't kid me, that one, 100%. And then like a leafy gathering for where the ears would be pretty cool. Moss kind of doing its thing over here. I want to play with the space that I'm given. I think I might just do my famous kind of box it in so that it's breaking out of the box, because that'll give the effect of awesome, I think. I am just, again, very rough sketching this in. Then I may get all kinds of calligraphy on this. Oops, had that. But just want to keep that gnarly. And yeah, I actually could have been taking a nap right now, but I'm hurting bad enough that I can't sleep. And there's no point sitting and just hurting. So I'm taking my mind off of it. And of course, I'm way outside the safe zone, but not terribly. And we'll figure stuff out. We'll figure stuff out. If I have to shrink it slightly, I can. And if you notice, my lines are a lot bolder today than usual, and I'm going kind of hard. Part of it is I think I'm running a slightly larger size. That almost looks like I'm still on 0.10. I'm curious. Or a 10 point? Yeah. I thought so. And part of it is I'm a little shaky. When I'm a little shaky, I have to push harder to have the control. Unless... no. I have peripheral neuropathy, which is a fancy way for saying the nerves in my hands and arms and feet and legs are kind of dying off. And it means that someday I won't be able to draw anymore, or maybe even hold things. It could be problematic. Now, I'm fighting that best I can, but due to an insurance error, some of the meds that I use to fight such things haven't been available to me for a few weeks and won't be available for a few more days. And then I have to readapt to them. So it may be a bit problematic. But I think the tremors aren't too bad, so I should be able to do better and hold things off. I think that might be the worst part of things going hinky and Luke having to be so sick and such. It cost me a lot of my rather finite amount of time. So, you fight it as long as you can. Many, many, many years ago, 15 maybe, they told me I'd be in a wheelchair because of my spine, and that hasn't done me in yet. I've done a lot to try to alleviate that, and that's all we do is you keep fighting the good fight. And it means there are good days where I can be my usual bouncy self, And there are not so good days where I'm not. And today's a little rough on me. But I'm not one to quietly surrender. So, effectively, I don't. And I kind of like how this weed is turning like into an ent almost. I don't know what I'm doing over here, but I like it. Hi Don. I see you in the chat. And yeah, we fight. We fight, guys. We find joy where we can find it. Because that's what life is. Life is about enjoying it while you're here and doing the most good with the time you have. Yeah, it's me, so I have to throw a mountain in the background and maybe some woodlands. You know Tolkien, he loved his trees. Snoop Dogg should be here any minute now. Oh, things could happen. I mean, Snoop's been known to run with the Wu Tang, and everyone knows the Wu Tang Clan is forever. Okay, that's not bad for a rough. And what I'll do is I'll just overdo it. I will do this to the best of my ability, and then Joe can add or remove, can remove any details he doesn't want, so that he has plenty of room to play with it. I hope he appreciates the gradient I've implied in the line work. So, I almost forgot something. Oh, come on. Autosave. Are you done? Thank you. Let's just do this. I may play with this image a bit, but let's go here. Not the best sword, but it'll do. We'll just kind of widen the skull hole out. I don't know who's messaging me while I'm doing this, but that's okay. There we are. That's delightfully morbid. And we're going to go here. And we're going to grab our black, because this tends to be monochrome because of the nature. And we're just going to get right up into this rather grumpy tree man's face. I think I might just want a little more control. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Just gonna root this. sometimes you gotta draw things that are a little spooky. Drawing monsters can be surprisingly liberating when you're in the right mood. Very empowering as a kid to draw a monster. Purple border to all your panels? That is so. I don't know. Like I said, guys, I'm learning CSP as I do this. So I'd recommend if you have a question, send it to Luke Stone. Luke Stone knows CSP inside and out. He's the one who got me hooked on this program. I'm an old. I used to use Jask Paint Shop Pro 3 was, I think, one of my favorite programs of all time. I'm going to be sitting here drawing this rather scary monster. Give it lots of fine lines to mess with Joe, lots of thick lines to mess with. Joe's going to have fun with this, I hope. I wonder if the Lorax spoke for this tree. that was a little rough, funny but rough. Playing a lot with line width to get that gnarled old beat up tree look. Having that line weight kind of thing it's just a good thing to try, guys. Don't be afraid to play. And that's one thing. Digital it's rather expensive depending on which program you use going out. But I'm telling you, once you have a digital program you like, it then becomes basically free art material wise to just play with things, and you get to use different tools and techniques. And it's going to just give a sense of you get to learn. You get this kind of opportunity to do things differently than maybe you would have. It's very freeing. And I know some people are intimidated by switching to digital. I don't think you should be intimidated by it, because you have two very powerful tools with the whole digital thing. You have a delete key and you have an undo key. Oh, I understand on that. Every time Blue says, every time an alcohol marker runs out of ink, I die a little inside. Those little dudes add up. I will confess, I've never been able to afford alcohol markers. They're Copics as the brand that most people know of them as. So I've never been able to use them. The closest to anything like that I've gotten was I have, and several of them have actually got lost and dried out, but Uh, the Bic markets, I think they became the Bic intensities, were the fanciest markers I consistently used. I've never, like I said, I've never had the option for fancy alcohol and Copic markers. Just too broke. And while you can't buy talent, having the right tools does help. And I've spent a lot of time not having the right tools. And there's a benefit to that, though, because if you can get a great picture out of like dollar store permanent markers or rose art whatevers, you can get a great picture out of anything. And I know right now this is a busy mess, but I think when I get rid of the blues, it will actually. Let's take a moment just to look and see if I like the way I'm progressing. Wrong clicker again. I need that. I need to zoom out a bit. Come to this layer, and I'm just pull the opacity down a bit to see. Oh, I think I'm in the right neighborhood. Let's just get rid of it. Yeah, it's busy, and I'll have to do some cleanup at the end, but it's coming along acceptably. I'll leave it a little shallower. A few years ago on Christmas, I splurged for a pack draw with a pack draw with jazzes sold was 24 markers, 24 color pencils, and some liners and sketching stuff. So it ended up being a decent deal. I have a fancy-ish set of art stuff that probably, depending on how I'm feeling late, even later this weekend, I may break out. I've been saving it for the right occasion. And it might just be time to break that out. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. That's the classic cardinal sin. There we go. I'm going to draw this because I want this kind of mossy feeling back here. Give that almost armor plating feel. And one nice thing about studying armor plating is once you've studied armor, you can articulation shows up more in your stuff. You can think of where the bends need to be. Lots of work here. Oh, wow, guys. I'm nearly at a half hour. That went fast. And I like the brand. Sadly, not all markers included in that pack have refills. So I'll probably slowly replace those with mark colors I can refill. Boob plates take time, yes. Well, guys, take a second if you're drawing while you're working while I'm chatting with you, because this isn't quite a draw along kind of thing. But don't be afraid to stop, check your posture, do a stretch. You don't want to go a half hour. Stare off into the distance as you can to relieve the eye strain. I actually have to turn my light on because I got working and I forgot to turn my big light on. Whoops. Ow. Did I get myself? Not bad. Okay. A little bit of hydration, not too much because I don't want to have to go to the bathroom. But I think we're getting where we need to be. Now, I'll probably do 2 saves of this as a piece because I'm really tempted to try to do a colored version. But that might come later. I don't know. We'll see. We have to put the One Ring very, very pleasant. Now, I don't own the rights to anything involving this. I'm just doing some fan art. Well, I'm assisting with some fan art for my friend Joe. Well, I switched to the eraser. Hold on. There we go. I'm almost tempted to add some extra fingers to this. I don't know. I want to keep the sense of. I want to go creepy without full on horror. It's like, but you have a skull with a sword sticking by it, and yeah, this is a pretty spooky one. I will grant you that. This is a pretty spooky dude. But I'm still just tracing in the parts that need bracing. He looks really cool. Thank you. Thank you, Teddy. It's a lot looser than a lot of my usual work. And I did the thing where I accidentally hit the button. And I tried to lose my black for a second. Now, let's pull out here for a second. Yeah, because I'm doing a wood burn, I have to do the circles very distinct. That line got wonky on me. I kind of lost the flow on that one, so hold on. I'll just redo it. And we'll come over here. These guys will just be hard. See, I don't know if he's going to want to try to do a line gradient or if he's going to want a solid black this. So I want to give him options, but I believe this is going to be part of a bookend where this is going to sit on one end to help contain some of Trelena's more interesting volumes. And if that's the case, it certainly deserves all the mojo I can throw in front of it. Now, let's get down here to the, little part that he wasn't expecting. And if he pops on, he'll get to see what's going on. And if not, he'll get this a little later. But yeah, I'll come when I need to rest myself from the details. I'll come back and I will do the gradient line art stuff over there. I'm trying to keep it feeling like wood block, wood print feeling. So there's a lot of challenge to this. this crack like that. And then I'm going to draw a line coming out of there, sort of snaking around the sword. Little swirly gigs like that, very disrespectful. And we can draw this little. This isn't even an ent. I don't know what this little dude is. He's just a little. He's like a weed man. He's just a little flowery guy just going for a stroll. Now that the age of meat is done. Oh, age of skin, I'm sorry. We'll give it a little trumpet vibe. Oh, hi, Joe. Drawn by Jody McVie. Thanks for the advice. I hope it helps. I may, depending on how I'm feeling, since you are going to be around, go into a little bit more of what I mean. But let me get this like this. And let's just... Because again, I don't know if Joe Bachman's going to want to do that. It's funny how close Trelena's calligraphy handwriting is to my own. I find that fascinating. But this also has a very old Gods of Appalachia vibe, which is, of course, one of my current jams. Anyhow, it's me. I have to get a little Bob Ross in the back. Not too much, because I don't want to detract from him. But I love the idea of a distant mountain. And I think Joe doesn't want to bother drawing. He doesn't have to. But I think we're almost done with this, at least because I have to catch myself. I want to go deep dive and go crazy with it. But I really can't because of the media this is intended for. So what this will be is printed and then acetoned onto wood as a pattern, and then wood burnt from the pattern, which is Joe's method. If you want to see him do it, he does that on Wednesdays, I believe, on the Independent Creator Directory YouTube channel. So let's get rid of the blue for a moment. And where's the blue? Let's just hide the blue layer and get a good look at what we're doing. I don't want it to be too busy because I don't want to lose. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Hold on. There we go. I want to lose what I have. Ha ha ha. Yeah. See, I have to darken this. And darken this. I do want to add a couple like stringy leaves just hanging there. This, add what looks like, there we go. That's what it needs. It needs the bark to look more barky. I can do that. I understand bark pretty well. Spent a lot of time around it. Odd stuff. Useful in its own way. Just at what it's good at. And then I want this sort of mossy looking goop. Dang it, I missed it now. I don't even know what I did. No, you didn't do anything. I said I have to get rid of the blue line work, and uh, Johnny made a joke. You're not in trouble, dear. And you can get rid of you blue. Yeah, see, you missed it. No, because I know that wood burning tends to have some leftovers. There we go. This little dude needs to be darkened up too to make it work better. There we go. We'll just put that all the way through there, that all the way through there. I think we might be getting close to done. Very, very close. Because this is a kind of quick one in that I can't do a lot of the tricks I would do because I don't know how well they would work with the material. So I quite like this guy, and I may use, Dark Ents Dark Ents as a species in my RPG that I'm working on because I do like that concept. Very, very Lovecraftian. That's what I need. That's what he needs. He needs he's an ant, but he's almost got the whole symbiotic the vines and stuff. Now we just need to do this and that to keep that hard line visible. I think that should do for his needs, don't you guys? Okay, so it's not getting the full signature because it's a collab piece. But I'll do that just so, it's harder for the AI to grab. Now, I kind of like that. That should work. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. If you choose not to do the background, that's fine. But I think we're going to call that a win. Save as. Should have a name. Baroom PNG. Baroom. Actually, we could do this. Dash complete. That way I have the original to play with if I need to later. Yes, I know it's going to be cranky. We'll export. Well, I won't be able to share that. Glad I caught it. Let me see, can I do that? And I wonder if I can export it. I want to see if that works. Nope. Well, it turned off. Bother! Well, you guys got to see it. I don't get to export it. Bother! Why did it turn off? That is annoying. Anyway. Well, I don't really need to even Well, I'll save it as a Clip Studio. That way I have the backup too. That annoys me so much. That has never been turned off. Save. Alrighty. Now. Wow. New. Yeah, we'll stay in the square. We'll stay in the square. And we'll get rid of Broom because I messed up. Annoyed by that. My time lapse, it unclicked itself. I did not know that could happen. So, alrighty. I had a commentary from somebody, and I don't want to bust any names out, so I won't. But they asked some questions, and basically the gist of it was, okay. What I'm doing is a very simplified little skeleton. Let's just do this. I know my proportions pretty well, so I can do that. Because this is actually three-dimensional shapes I'm used to working with, but I have to be a little more precise on some things than I would. I put a couple things in there, but we're just going to do that. Okay, so if I have this character, okay, and the proportions are pretty female, but we're gonna where's my selector? I bet it's in lasso mode. Yep, lasso mode. Right. Let's see. I'll see if I can do something. Control C. Control V. Yes, I can. So do that. Two. Control V. Oh. Oh, okay, I see what happened. Point. Okay. One. Control C. Control V. Oh, I got it at once. Okay, only let me do it once at a time. Okay, let me try it now. Control V. It's there. I can see it. Let me hit deselect here. Hit this. Oops, I goofed that up. So we're going to deselect that. I'm still getting used to being able to select and move things around. So you'll bear with me for a minute, I think. Control C, Control V. Oh, yep. It's light. There. Okay, we have three of basically the same skeletons, right? Okay. There's a little shading because it only grabs a layer, but we're not going to worry about that. Deselect that. That's fine. Come over here. See, these guys are all the different layers. So what we'll do is we'll go and we'll merge these down to make life a little easier on my computer. So we have three people. And even though I wobbled it a little bit, they're all the same proportion. They're all the same size, right? Now, let me go here and just do that. Two. And then I'll put a new one. Cool. Now, we're going to build this person up. But if we're going to build them up, and I need a much smaller pen. Actually, let me look at this. Give me a different color. Let me see. Yes, okay, cool. That's on. I'm going to build this person as though they're very slender. Okay? It's not going to be perfect because it's not really meant to be. But this is more a education one. And I'm not going into great detail. We don't need great detail. Right. And I will give hips, leg trick, and ankles. Right? Leg trick. You get circle. Ankles. Stop here. It doesn't address the issue I see with body type. Okay. My point, what I was going to say is we have this person, we've done them as a thin person. There are two approaches to body type. Yes. That there, like I said, there are two approaches. From this person, so again, I get to do my select thing. And you know what? I'm going to come over here. No, it's not. But we're, like I said, Joe, you tend to jump ahead in the, you jump ahead in the lesson. Okay, so we go, because I should have done this while they had that. Copy, paste, maybe there. Okay. Nope, Control Z. Gotta undo that. There we go. Control C. Control V. Now I should be able to move this over. Nope. Dang it! Every time I do it. Okay, fine. We're gonna make it simpler. When you're adding muscle tends to build out, and fat tends to build out and down because of the firmness. So I'm just going to throw another layer on so I can disappear, and we'll work with this one person. What do I mean? Let me grab a color. Okay, we're going to add some muscle. Oh. Deselect that, get rid of that, get back to the pen. Okay. And I know. I get where you're going, but first and foremost, we're going to deal with this issue. Okay, so they bulk up. Okay. I goofed that line up, so I'm fixing it there. Don't get too confused. Certain areas can't really bulk up. It's really hard to bulk up like the shin. It's also very hard to do a lot of bulking on the top of the arm. You get a lot more bulk on the bottom. Okay. But the muscle will follow the anatomical job of moving things around. Okay. So when you bulk up with muscle, it reinforces its ability. You got to think about this bicep tightens, it contracts to bring the arm up, right? So this bulks up. Same with the tricep, but not as much because that's a reset muscle. Very few. There's not as much natural need to push down as there is to pick up as a human. Because pushing down has gravity on its side. Right? So if we come over here, and this person is going to put, we're going to bulk them up, but we're going to bulk them up with more fat. And this is not shaming anybody. This has nothing to do with that. This is about playing with the way the body works. And actually, I don't want to use that purple because I think that that purple won't show up well enough. So let's use this. Yeah, this little kind of light pink. Okay. When you add fat to a body, it frankly tends to pool more. Okay. So the core inside line would be there, but it pools more depending on where the storage is. And when you look into it, you'll find that very often fat will sit differently depending on why you have the fat. For example, if you have a lot of cortisol, it tends to give you that that belly fat kind of thing. Okay? But the general gist is downward motion, and it tends to, as we think about it, it rolls. Okay? Now, another interesting thing you'll find about when you're dealing with drawing people who are overweight, because the people aren't fat, they are far more than they're fat, is there's usually a lot of strength in the legs because they're still going to have to move the mass around, regardless of where it sits. And it seems like body fat likes to kind of pool over the joints. Now, swelling gets different. You'll see people with very large calves, especially, and thighs. That's swelling, and swelling hits the joints, and it hits the weight centers more. So swelling tends to be around an injury. It'll swell. That's localized, or basically systemic, and that's the water. Excess water is being held in the body, so gravity pulls it down, and that's where you get the feet being much bigger. Ironically, look at how thunder blows up in Big Trouble in Little China. Now, what does that matter to this third dude? Well, the third dude is what you get when somebody is overweight and but still carrying weight. So what you get when somebody who has activity but they also carry extra body mass is sort of a hybrid. And that's where you get this very firm barrel look very often. So this is dealing with the different body types from the perspective of weight and muscle. Okay. And it's funny because it's almost like drawing armor on the body, because it basically is. What you have is someone who is, oops, did it again. Give me that. There we go. Someone who is holding a bit of weight, and you're still going to have, especially most likely around the belly, because what this is doing from the side. So if we have the spine, okay, and you've got the rib cage, which tilts up, the pelvis, which tilts down, and then you have the musculature. Body. Let me grab another color because I'm going to be throwing on top of that. I should have done that differently, but we can do this. I want it to be visible. Body weight. Fat will build up on top of the muscle and on top of the spine to help pad and protect those areas. This is why when you look at the power lifters, the strong men, you can see that there's the muscle cordage hits, and then the body has put natural fat to protect and store there. This is all kind of stacked up to give you a mix of it's held up because there's the muscle is under there still supporting it. So it's almost like a lean fat compared to the more just sagging fat. Because, like, on this person, if they don't have it, they'll have the fat, but it kind of, the belly line, and this literally could be male or female, and their head's up here, but we're really not worried about their heads too much. Their neck and head go that way. So, yeah. It hangs because there's no superstructure of muscle under it. And you get the classic rolls. So that's how you start to understand that. And I'm working mostly with male anatomy because people get less skittish about male anatomy being drawn this way than if I were doing female. Now, let's pull all this away. I'm going to keep it all on this one document just to make life simple on me. And we'll go here, layer 4. And what Joe was talking about is the second class that changes. Let me get this centered up. The way that, and we'll just get rid of that, the body looks. So the first half was the people who have skeletons. The second half are the way muscle fits on people of similar mechanical build. The second half he's thinking he's talking about is the skeletons are different. So let me grab a blue again. There we go. I think it'll show up okay like this. And I'm sorry if this is a little more lecture-y than you guys planned, but Joe's actually not the only person asking me very similar questions. So I'm trying to hit all the points at the same time so I don't repeat myself. Okay. Circle. Let's see. I'm going to have to do this careful, but same person I usually draw. Now we can talk three-dimensionally about how the chest is essentially, I'm going to make this a little simpler. It's three-dimensional, but I want you guys to see something. Okay. So you can understand the shapes we're using. Okay. There is a difference between being different sized and different proportioned. Which means the limb length is vast majority of the time in living humans proportionate to the relative torso length. There are differences, but you have to realize the rules kind of before you break them. Okay. So this is a fairly short person. This head is probably a little too tall, but okay, we'll work on it. Boom, boom, boom. You can have somebody who's wider bodied. Okay. So let's do somebody, they usually have a bigger head. This is just going to be a taller, wider person. Box chest. Comes down. That is not straight, but it looks straight from head on. Diamond pelvis. Angles in. We get it really into it. The legs actually angle in too, just to make things more interesting. And we got this much larger person. Now, when I'm going to talk about male versus female in a minute, but part of male versus female, I mean CIS, cis, not anything about gender types. We're talking skeletal systems. Kind of, possibly. But just because the differences are usually a difference in scale on either axis, they're not difference in relative proportion. So rarely do you see a major difference where the elbow is almost always going to hit at the natural waist. The hand is going to end just below the hip point, or usually just a touch higher in women. So we're going to draw this, and let me just work through this, and I'm going to build on what we have here. Now we have our slender, our not slender. This is this would be the musculature for this lady if she were fairly lean muscled for, her relative big bone. Okay. We have this, right? And then we'll give her, she is actually quite short-legged. I have gotten my proportions off on her legs slightly, so we're going to pull that down, because as I play with it, I realized I made a mistake. So what I'm going to say is this is a big girl. Even if she's not terribly heavily endowed, in the chest region, she's still a big girl. Now we can play with these axes, but the musculature is going to support a baseline. This is why outside of the place of corsetry, the extreme wasp waists don't always look natural. There are cases of wasp waist where people are very narrow in the waist. There's a like Instagram model / cosplayer named Faye Galvo who has a very wasp waist. But her arms are very likely going to hit there, and her hands are going to hit here. The problem that Joe's talking about, I believe, because we can stack both this up. We can make this woman, let me grab some color here, and have her either through natural musculature difference. This is right now she's kind of almost Bregan Darth. Or I think that no, that's not Bregan Darth. The giant lady from Game of Thrones. You know who I mean? I can't think of her name. And that's not a disrespect, but we can add more material and she'll become curvier if we need to. But that's not going to change the stuff. Now you're saying it might not be a mistake in proportion. I will tell you that what I have seen in some of the reference images is what you tend to do are characters that are built. Let me hide this. Yeah, Brienne of Tarth. Spell check it. That's as long as people know who I mean. Joe recently sent me a picture of a girl in a dress. He was working on his folds. Let me get her neck. And as I recall, this is a very fast gesture from memory. She was built something, including her dress, like this. And unless he was using foreshortening, her arms were just very, very long. Now, that can happen in cases of various forms of dwarfism or things like that. And I'm just loosely throwing this pose together because I'm trying to remember. I can grab it if you like. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if you want to talk that, that's fine. What you're saying is, where did that book go? Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Sorry about that, guys. I had to grab a reference that Joe and I both have because there's a specific page I'm looking for that I can. What he is talking about is the reference by head, meaning how many heads tall someone is. And so let's see, how do I want to do this on here? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to save some time and effort. Give me just a second. Let me come here. Let me come here. And let me come here. Maybe? No. Yeah, hi. Joe is talking about this right here. He's referencing the head proportion. And I could redraw it, but frankly, Christopher Hart, this is a very battered copy that I've had for many years, is talking about how many heads tall you make someone. The problem is, if you notice, the proportion is still roughly the same. It's just stretched. the hands still end. Okay, the hands, Joe, still end here. What you were doing was not that. What you were building was somebody with this body proportion and either this leg proportion or even this leg proportion. So that would make her arms down past her knees. And that makes somebody look very abnormal, very elongated, very monkey-like. And because in primates, the longer arms are natural. So what you're going to find, and this is, I'm referencing Christopher Hart's book, How to Draw a Great Looking Comical Woman. I've had this for many, many years. It actually got squashed in my moving van. That's why the corner's so dog-eared and beat up. But it's also a well-loved, very beat-up reference. That is a thing. You still have to keep it. Okay, what are you saying? Again, to have a long-legged person under the skeleton you use, you have to modify the torso length to shorten to accommodate. No, you don't. You would have to modify it where the torso length. No, if you're keeping with the traditional things, you don't change. Look, you don't have to change the character's height in heads. You can, but I will tell you, with your proportions, you can do that. You can always slide your proportions around. You would modify it where if you shorten the torso length to make the legs longer, you can do that. But when you do that, usually the arms are tied to the torso length, not necessarily the leg length. It's much, much more common physiologically in people to have slightly shorter than proportionate arms than longer. They do exist. I have known and even trained and fought with people like that. But it will put it puts a very kind of warped look. And if that's something you're going directly to, you can sliding scale it. So let's get back to the board for a second. Okay, because I want to talk about which. Which is why I get confused when others take proportions when they don't mention head height. Because most people use a fixed head height system. Real people, I believe, are 5.5. It's either 5.5 or 7.5, and I get it flipped. But the industry standard is 9.5. That is the traditional Western comics industry standard where they build from. That is the rule they may choose to break or not. But when you build a character, and I have to change some things over to okay. So let me see if we can address this, Joe. I'm going to hide these guys. When you build a character, yeah, give me my pen. I'm going to try to keep them roughly proportional, roughly same height, different proportions. Okay. And Joe usually draws women, so I'm going to draw a woman. And that is below her ankle. That's fine. This is basically the standard proportions I use. And by standard, not that everyone should look like this, because I don't believe that, but this is the basis where I determined, am I making them thicker, thinner, taller, or skinnier? This is just a fairly for me. Now, I use much closer to human proportions than others. But The trick is usually people will keep the relative proportion to the arms, legs, and torso. They slide it all as a single slip. If you take a character, same proportion, Nineheads is a very tall character. And that is one of the, like I said, that's one of the basics that are taught. It's inhuman, but okay, we can take the same basic. Okay, I'm just drawing the lines to make sure. But instead, I'm going to shrink her torso dramatically. Okay. But only her torso. So her pelvic line is up about half a head. Okay. Get the knees where they need to be. But you want the elbow to end here. And yes, I've used a shortcut of mating the knees together just to keep my proportions closer. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. And then keep the hand way down here. This is how you are drawing the character. Okay. And this, comparatively, most people will say that that looks a little odd. It looks off. Now, if you're doing it deliberately, you're breaking the rule deliberately, that's one thing. Okay, Joe, you're quibbling on a point. And that's fine. Okay, this is, let's see, this is 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, and so this is about 6 heads tall. Little tall. That's fine. It's consistent. But the arm is only 2.5 heads. If you want it in heads, we can do that. This arm is 3 heads, which is much closer to the normal length of a leg. That's why your proportions look off. Now, if you choose to do it, that's fine. It works. It's your choice. I'm all about people having art style. But I will tell you consistently, if you do that, clothes will seem a little hard, and foreshortening will be even more difficult to read because of the proportions. Hi, Mike Jimmy. So that's the mechanics of what's going on. If you like the effect, go for it. But understand that many people won't like the effect because it will feel unnatural, and they may not even know why. Because things like this, believe it or not, having an alternate proportion like that is part of what can lead to the uncanny valley, where kind of works like this. Give me another chart. People, we usually like things that look more like us. So things that look like human faces look really cute. So you would expect the closer you get to looking like us, the more we like it, right? Yay. No. Let me make it more grand. Give me an eraser. I'm going to fix this line because it's not doing what I want it to do. How big is the source? Okay. So people would expect the line to go like this. The more it looks like us, the more we tend to like it. However, there is this very sharp and noted psychological effect where things that look things that look like us but not quite can cause a reversion. I dislike that. Oh, this is creepy. Why? A great example is if you look at the mask in the movie Megan. She looks very, very human, but not quite. And that causes the back of our mind to go, huh. Now, some of that has been culturally cut out because we as sentient people are trying to broaden what we accept as looking like quote unquote us, which is good. This is part of the mechanics for getting away from things like racism. In part, that's a big heavy topic. We're not going to go too deep down it, but it's there. But it also is, enough of us watch anime, which that boy, my handwriting, that got kind of funny. So making a new layer, because this is the easiest way for me to keep talking through about this. Let me go. Yeah, 10's still good. For a long time, people thought of the proportions of a face look best if they're, at least to Western eyes, very close to the same, simple rules. I'm sorry. I'm having to fight years of being an anime artist because I don't think in Western as a knee jerk. You have about an eye width space apart. Eye width space apart. Your nose is about here. This head's a little high, but ear starts at the eye, goes to where the mouth line is. There's usually a lot of variance in the jaw. We're very comfortable with lots of variance in the jaw shape and length, oddly enough. It's a weird thing about humans. But the eyes especially are very important, which is why for a long time, if I were to draw, okay, let me, similar face size, right? But give it very traditional anime perspectives. This really weirded out a lot of people when it started, when anime, at least in America, because why are their eyes so big? They look freaky. And then we accepted it. It doesn't look natural because it's not symmetrically balanced with which most takes as proportionate. Yes, that's by not being that, it is not proportionate. That literally is the okay. Joe's going to make me do this. Give me a second. My chill art stream is turning occasionally into the Joe stream, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. We shall see. But let me, instead of talking about the reference, I'll pull it up and I'll mark it up. just a second, because what I have to do is actually download it. And we can see if anyone else agrees with my point. I'm going to say save this image. And oops, went the wrong way. Images. J2. Okay, so file new. Let me close. Oh, I almost closed my stream out. Oh, good night, Mike Jimmy. I'm glad your project's doing so well. God, see, I'm too tired for this. Wow. Okay. That is okay. We're gonna just let me close that for a second. Save. No, I just typed that out, but that's close enough. 3, 2, 1. We'll start with J2. Okay. This is the picture Joe's talking about. And I'm not trying to say it needs defense or not, but this is what's going on. And that's her head size. She is just over 4 heads tall. And her arm is literally 2 heads long, a little over about 2 1/4 heads. So her arm and heads are actually traditionally proportionate. Everything else isn't. So it's going to look, basically what this looks like is someone with dwarfism, or no dwarfism because of the head size. That's the situation going on here. And that's fine if that's your choice. But that's what's going on, and that's what most viewers are going to think. Now, I think I've dealt with this enough. This wasn't supposed to be this kind of lecture show. This is supposed to be a chill art stream. And the discussion has actually ran off a viewer. So we are going to table this, probably permanently. Okay, so we're going to don't save. And we're going to close that. And we're going to go back because, frankly, that was more than a little stressful. And that is the exact point of why, the opposite of why I do this show. So we're gonna do something not stressful. Um, let's see. I'm actually slightly floundered now. What we're gonna do, we've got normal layer. We got picture. I need to do something not stressful now. So we've got our happy little square. I'm gonna take my glasses off. I'm going to hydrate. And afterwards, I will apologize to Mike Jimmy because I'm sorry that that had to happen. But we are going to just get some Bob Ross on because that's what we do. I haven't done a squarish Bob Ross in a while. Now, hit my heavy paints, and I'm going to hit. I want to do more cloud work. No, I think I'll keep this open. I'm feeling kind of. Get that in there. Ted's looking at me as I am comparing my hand size to my body. Yeah, it's fascinating. Wonderful. And learn about yourself. Very few people are actually nearly as proportionate as they think they are. And learning your proportions makes you more accepting. But there is a difference in oh, that is funny. There's a difference between doing education and discussion or defending, because it wasn't an argument. It was, this is how industry standards tend to work. This is how people usually draw. And what we do now, as I work out, so, sometimes when you're stressed, you can paint fast. I like to do that. I'm just throwing it on there right now. This is a mountain. This is a mountain made of me just squiggling off the annoyance. Because it can be frustrating sometimes. But we all learn. We're all trying to get better. And sometimes we just have to adjust and take what we need from a situation. So I am just I'm not even painting. Usually I paint. I'm hitting this like I hit Sharpie when I'm just burning through whatever's bothering me. That's good. The scribbling like this just sometimes just burns off the stress. Just, I can't go beat on a Pell right now. I can't go run and do anything. My body won't let me. So drawing something fast, that helps. So let's see. We've done our dark base, and I'm going to throw some light around here, and I'm just going to kind of edge it in. And the nice thing about the pressure sensitivity means I can sort of play with it a bit. I'm just kind of finding this break in the mountain. It's kind of nice. I didn't know that was there. Isn't it neat? I'm looking at this and I'm seeing how my mood has changed my brush strokes. And see, that's the trick, Teddy. The as long as you realize that you're choosing these proportions, much like anime, and you're either breaking the rules or using a different set of rules. It's fine. That comes with the acceptance that some people may not jive with it. They may not really. They may like it. They may not, and that's fine. It's okay for people to like or not like your work or whatever. You have to be happy with it. But it's also good to understand why some people might not like how you're doing something and decide, is this how I want to do something? And when you're trying to improve for, gaining a broader market share, sometimes our art can't be as niche as we want for, improving commercially. And that's part of the journey. It's like, see, on this side, I'm following the rules. Remember the rules of doing mountains? Mountains are gravity. Mountains are actually moving downward. All over here, I'm not. And I find myself looking at it because I was scribbling and I was still annoyed. It didn't feel quite right. And the little holidays, the little holes, they bother me. So now that I'm in a different mentality, I'm going to take my blur tool. I'm going to put the holidays to work, giving some shading and variance. And I just smooth it all back down. Now, I did kind of like that sharper line, so I may have to erase or use the paint to do that. But we can play. And I don't mind breaking the rules that exist in art, because that's the point. That's how new rules are written. That's how new art styles and forms are made. But you have to learn them first. And that's what we do. That's part of what we're doing on the show, is realizing and sharing and learning the rules that we know to get the effects that we want. Oops. Now, get back to my paintbrush. We'll throw some more of this light gray on here. I don't need to go much farther because we all know I'm going to put some stuff in the foreground. But, oh, I'm sorry, I've left that comment up for a while. Lost a few viewers. That's okay. We got a little intense, and I'm gonna make some different changes on that one, because this is I broadcast a lot. This is my happy place, and sometimes you have to make sure your happy place stays yours. This kind of painting, I can show you how. That's what I'm doing. All you're doing is you're throwing paint on and pulling it down with the weight. Right now, I'm switching between the paintbrush and just the basic blur tool. It doesn't need to be complicated. I'm not even going to lie. I learned most of my landscape art like this from Bob Ross. He's a wonderful source. And like I said, a lot of times this is almost, I'm sculpting it with the blur brush. Yeah, carry that torch. That's fine. The thing is, you find what works for you. Like I used to be, when you look at my early work, I was the king of gigantic feet. Oh, the trick is following Bob Ross is best done not necessarily doing it in time with the show, but listen to what he does almost every episode. And you'll start to see the pattern in what he's teaching. And yeah, it should be fun. And playing with it, because it doesn't need to be it doesn't need, you know what, let me see if I can do something here. Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of artificially grow another mountain over here. And that's entirely with the blur brush. That's pretty cool. We'll do a little over here too. Try and don't be afraid to fail. And if you fail, look at why. Failure is an opportunity. It's a chance to learn. I need a slightly darker. Yes, give a little darker in there. Well, I'm still on the wrong brush, aren't I? That's why it's not working. Well, I'll give a little bit of hardness to these shadows. And it helps if you've seen things. So, you look at mountains, you look at look at photos. Look, and don't look at it for the image, but look at it for the composition almost. See, like I said, I cheat. I sculpt with paint a lot. I just pull what I need where it needs to go. And it gives a very, kind of impressionistic. It's not quite spot where it needs to be, but now let's grab a nice brown and give ourselves another. I was really Bob Rossing. I was annoyed enough I was working on one layer. Wow. Okie dokie. Do this. We're going to grab our buddy here, and we're just going to cut in some hills. Just cut that right in. Normally I'd use a big fat wide brush, but I kind of like the rhythm I have with this little guy, so we'll just throw this in. Now, because I'm doing digital, I can do things, but if you see, the quick lines are still giving me the paint strokes. The brush stroke is almost as important as what's being painted or where. And eraser, pen, there we go. We'll just pull it in. Now, we've got this. I'm feeling like we need, I don't know. I don't like, there we go. I didn't like that hard drop off. Looks like we've got a little bit of water still coming through. Not as much as we usually do. So let's get some of these holidays. Okay. Now we've got. I see a brook. I'm not. How do I want to do that? Probably much. Let's see. Do it sandy. Make it a kind of sandy brook. Something like this. We'll lighten where the water is. Like this. Kind of coming down. Going like this. Like that. I think I like that. And we'll throw some little rocks in there. And lightly add some water. By lightly adding the darker, it makes the water more apparent. We'll get this. Where's that nice? That's too golden yellow. I need. Yeah, we'll see. Is that going to do what I want? Yeah. Catch some sunlight on there. That's nice. And out comes our friend the blur. brush, because you know I'm going for the blur brush. I can just smudge that. And that's a little harsh. Let's mix that in a little. There we go. Nice. Thank you. Get back to my paintbrush. We'll add some big old rocks that are right by the brook. I'm going to build from the brook out, I think. I'll figure out what I'm doing. Yeah. Some nice little rocks. Put some over here. These look like volcanic rocks just by the size and the kind of black color. Bet they're very porous. I think about the rocks, you know? I think about what's on yellow. I'm going to have to play with the stream color because it's not quite right. It needs some work. But what else is going on? We'll put another one of these rocks out here. It's looking a little like it's not natural, so I got to think about this for a second. What does it need? And yes, my hand's just making happy kind of blurry rock dudes. And we're going to use a similar process because I'm thinking the sun is kind of off to our right and up. It's not in frame, but it's definitely maybe coming down a bit. So that means the sunlight's probably hitting the rocks a little bit. So let's just throw that light effect in there. And again, I'm working on the same layer. I should be doing this on different layers because, yay, it's technological. But that gives it the sunlight and it sort of greens it a bit more. So it gives it a sense that maybe there's some moss going. Oh, yeah, that's good stuff. But I'm just using the thick oil brush. I'm not really using any of the really tricksy techniques because I'm going to tell you a secret. And this will probably make Glenn Fleming happy. Traditional techniques work on digital art far better than digital-only techniques tend to work on traditional art. So we've got that. What I would love is a kind of hairy brush. I don't know if I have a good hairy brush. The gouache. Let's try this dry gouache. Let's just see if it'll... No, it's not going to do it. I'm going to have to do it the harder way. That's fine. Indie ink. Give it a second. Because I can't see what the pens look like. It might be lost in a pen. So let's see what dry ink looks like. It seems like it's big. Oh, that is big. Let's just go here for now. Yeah, and let's see what a big one looks like because I'm kind of curious. Oh, that's fun. Oh, I did not expect it to do that across the barrier. That's unintentional, but oddly awesome. So I think I'm going to keep it because it's giving this really neat, like the light is just cracking over and I can play with that. See, that is a happy little mistake that I can play with, friends. Because I've seen that happen when the sun is setting. A lot of times people only look at the sunset as the sun setting itself. Oh, thank you. I don't usually do ads or promotion on the stream. I mean, if there's something you really want, if emergency promotion, I have no problem with it. But this is usually more a mix of education and relaxation. It really is interesting what's going on here. Because I kind of, like I said, I like this hard light line that's formed. I just don't know why it's done it. And I don't know if it's because it's the India ink or what, but I'm going to have to figure that out because it's utterly delightful. So we have that going on. And looks amazing. Thank you. Oops, and there we go. Let me check something real quick. We need some tree action. I don't think I want a big tree. Winter's hit me, guys. Winter has messed with me a bit this year, and I am already very in an early spring kind of mood. So I think I'm going to just kind of let this picture grow into something that feels early spring. And we'll put some little saplings going. I have to work on that water a bit more. I'm curious about something because this tool's doing interesting things. Yeah, no, not quite ready. I'll have to go back to that. But what color brown was I using? Have you answered links in the chat? Okay. And if you have something going on, if it wasn't, I'm just gonna send you a pic of the kids to make you smile. Oh, I'll take anything to make me smile. And Joe, you're fine. Joe, we're fine if you're still there. Can't really handle too much wood at the moment. I get it. Yeah, no. Yeah, Johnny's being Johnny. Bless you for being who you are. Oh, okay. Part of that is just how this tool works, where it's not just. Oh no, I could grab the wrong color. That's fine. At one point, I did a picture that was the fellows walking through after the. Whoops. Let me see what we got going on. Aww, they're adorable. I shared a picture actually that was my friend Trelena and Sean. My friends, that's not one person. Did a reference photo shoot for me 10 years ago, and it was really nice because I got some good posing out of it. But I got a glimmer in the back of my old orange cat, who's long since passed. And it was neat to see him again. I didn't expect to see him today, if that makes any sense. There we are. I realize I haven't played with the Indie Ink tool. And now that I am, I'm going to play with it more. I'm running and you're still there. Yep. So we have this nice. Now, what I need. I think I need my pen for this. I want to put the little buds on because this is extremely early spring in this picture. But I think we all need reminders sometimes, especially when we're stressed or things don't go right, that life comes back. Life finds a way. And I can pull the lighter down a little bit, from very similar to the effect I was getting for the India ink. You can do some neat things, I think, with it. Let's just try. See, one thing I've not managed to do artistically is really get my my genres to go together like I'd like. I would like my background stuff and my line art to come together more, and I find that challenging. That's how he's going. I saw that lower left of the pic. Yes, that was not Stuart. That was a different cat altogether. And he was a sweetie. He was a himbo. He hit all three pillars of himbodom. He was pure of heart. He was broad of chest, and he was dumb of bum. I try not to swear on, especially on this show. This show's meant to be for everybody. I can't say it's for kids because Kappa gets really nightmarish, but I want kids to feel safe here. I want people to feel safe here. Oh, okay. Working on your upcoming IgG campaign stuff. I can't believe Chrome Dog is finally launching. If you want to throw the link to Chrome Dog, if that's what's going on, by all means, throw the link to Chrome Dog in. I probably won't. I won't. This show isn't like my other shows where I'm reading the chats and promoting as heavy, because that's just not the purpose. And if it seems like in some ways I can be a little more protective of this show, that's because this is my fun. This is my program where I don't count this as working. I'm doing this because I love to do things like this. And I do apologize if that makes me cranky sometimes. It's got the buds. I've done so many pictures that are it basically is my happy place. I've done so many pictures where I'm used to leaving room up top for to put never mind the furthermore, that I think I'm doing it reflexively now. Like, it seems like there's a lot more height than there needs to be, but that's okay. It's a fun picture. And let me just, do I want to do this? No, I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I can get rid of that. That was a question, and I answered it, and the undo button is there for a reason. What does this need? Oh, I'm so sorry. I honestly thought you already had a wrench. Give me a moment. I have to not strain my system too hard. I have to do this from my phone. But let's see. No, I don't need to watch later. And we'll go here. And your moderator. Welcome to the lovely army of link throwers. Well, you know what? And we're both learning. Friends, this is how adults settle when things get a little conflicty. We talk about it, we settle it, and we go down the line. And that's how we get people stay friends and how people grow. And that's what this is about. This channel, I think, it's what I'd do if the world were a nicer place. If I didn't have some of the obligations I have, I would simply do things like this. And speaking of things like this, I think it might just be time to sign off on this little fella. And Because I was trying to figure out where my little guy was, and I don't think he's in this one. I don't know if he might be. We might be seeing through his eyes on this one. Wouldn't surprise me. Maybe he took the picture. Alrighty, we'll say. What do we save this as? What do we save this as? Did I hit the right button? Mountain Spring, which sounds like a soap brand, but and hey, that's my goal. This is supposed to be relaxing and educational, and because I had people who I hate when I hear I can't do that, and I do need to export the time lapse. Hydrate break, everybody. I found it works better if I let it do its thing all the way on the longer ones. Okay. Sorry it takes so long, guys. This is just a good one. Alrighty, we're almost done with the exporting time lapse. This was a while. Absolutely. And Agent Zero, be sure on Monday morning to hit Nevermind the Furthermore on this channel. It'll be at 10 a.m. Eastern. And throw your links in there because we get a lot of people on that. And that show is very much promotion oriented. It's just if I don't have one that's not about promoting and selling, I can't, yeah, that's a scientific term. But you're more than welcome to pop in there. Absolutely. And I do that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you pop in basically every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Join the chat. It's a good group of authors and creatives, very much about promoting each other's works, building up small business, keeping people accountable. It gives you a chance to talk about what you did. I'm going to save this. Now, the other thing is this gives me content for my other channels. So I can put this up as a short and I can throw it up on Instagram, things like that. Alrighty, let's get a new one. And since we've had a bit of hullabaloo, let's get a prompt. Somebody give me either a concept or a word or something silly as a prompt, and we'll see what we can do with that, and then I'll probably wrap the show up. So, what would you guys like to see drawn? Give you guys a minute. And I'll make sure I'm all set up here. Yep, I am all set up here. Grabbable. Sunset at a Ranch, and we got Sunset at a Ranch, and we've got Buddy. Okay. I got this. I got this. And Big Stompy Robot. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's a lot. We can make, you guys, like I said, you guys wanted to make me combine my talents. Let's see what we can do. Oh, no. You don't understand. Give me a second. I need to move this. Need this. Sunset and Ranch. Oh, yeah, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it. We can go straight to black. There won't be a lot of messing around with this. And I need line. Wow. Okay. Nice little beat line there. And we're gonna need, let me see how this is working. Get the whole throw this in, because I'm doing this as a light sketch and getting just a little buzzy. That's fine. Yep. And we're going to put that there. I actually have some Big Stompy Robot related stuff to do for my buddy Joe Bachman. Well, oh, that's what I did wrong. Oops. I goof that up for a second. Right here. I also want a slightly more dynamic pose. We'll do this. What are you doing, Nick, that you're setting it up like this? This is going to be great. This is going to be fun. We're going to just throw this out there. This is going to be good. I hear the theme from Lassie in my head, which is really odd. But we'll open the cockpit on this one. And we'll have the little blast doors open because we'll assume it's unloaded anyway. This is going to be a fun one. Sometimes you just get sketchy. This would normally be my blue layer, but I want to try something else. got this. Come up a bit. Because the prompts were Sunset at the Ranch, Big Stompy Robot, and Buddy. Just play this a little bit more, because I can always add another layer. Well, I'm glad to hear that. It's coming out quick, but this is literally super speed doodles. Now, we got that. Now we're going to come over here. Got this real quick. No, put this way. Oh, wait, nope, this needs to be multiply. This desperately needs to be multiply. Multiply. Here we are. Sorry, I was using a different app earlier, and I'm trying to remember what I was doing. So let's see if I can do something snazzy or if I will have to do it the hard way. Oh, is this set up for refer to other layers? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Exquisite. Not quite. Oh, we goofed that part up. Dang it. Oh, I see what went wrong. I see what went wrong. We can fix this too. We just go. I forgot that line right there, probably. Now we'll go back here. I'll have to come back and darken some of these lines and fix some holidays. But that's okay. I need to erase right here. That's fine. You know what? Let's just do that. I need give me my Milli pen. I want my Milli pen, dang it. There. Just sort of throw that ink in there. What are you doing, Nick? This is so random. Yes, it is. But bear with me. I rarely do anything without a really good reason. Because I'm going to show you one of my favorite aspects of doing digital art. Yeah, I'll have to do something neat there. But I'm going to do this, do that. We'll just keep all this kind of like so. I'll have to do another layer. Ask me how much that bothers me. but I want to tighten some of that up. But we need this and this and that and that. Got that all in there. Yeah. Now comes the fun silliness, because we're going to do a layer, and I'm going to pull it down here. And nope, that can't be that way. Hold on. Oh, okay, I know what I need to do. Put this back up here. Top layer, merge down to bottom layer. That is now a single normal layer. Now I can do the shady fun. I'm here, but I have pulled it under this layer. What am I doing, you ask? Well, dear friends, I'm going to come over here. Yeah, let's just do, that. That is not the color. We don't want to be that spacey. And how's that? Yeah, that's good. Good shade. Whoop. I did. I goofed the pooch. I did the thing that I say I don't want to do. Give me just a second. Let's fix this part. And window, workspace, reset default. Yes. I think. Yeah, there we go. And we're back. Sorry about that. Had to fix a common thing where I throw things around accidentally because I get too excited. We're going to close that. And we're going to close that. There we are. Now, if I'm where I'm supposed to be, let's see. It's okay if a little bit of it shines through. And then we'll come over here. And we'll just start. I don't want that one. Give me my standard colors, please. Sometimes I just want to be able to look at the box of crayons. There we are. This has the he's come home from the war, and no one expected him to. Oh no. They're not taking your jobs, Johnny. These are piloted robots. They're not self-controlled. At least not these guys. But I think this now will come back to this layer. Yes, I'm going to go to the black layer, but trust me. Trust me. I'm pretty good at what I do. Give me my pen. And give me this. Go away. And I'm going to just start throwing where the orange is painted onto the fence. A little bit of old-fashioned room lighting. So who doesn't love some room lighting? Juicy, juicy room lighting. I think that fit the brief pretty darn well, don't you guys? I think I got a ranch, I got Buddy, and I've included a big stompy robot, because who doesn't love big stompy robots? And I think, as the sun sets somewhere on Praxis 5 and one man's tour of duty is done, I think it's a good time for yours truly to sign the picture and sign off on this episode of Art Time with Nick. It's been an adventure, folks. I'm going to do my save routine while I talk through it, but there we go. It's a whole mess of a name, but it works. I may get things. It's my absolute pleasure, and I do these sometime during the weekend and anytime I have a chance to draw. I try to get these out. I disruptive. But I will be a little more. This is something that's important enough for me that I need to be all the videos from the earlier ones. I did a couple of this week actually, and all of them on the channel. Please be sure to support them. And if you don't take a look on your way out, that would be much appreciated. As actually, diverse content on this channel, and just be there to help folks. So I hope you find it all helpful. And other than that, guys, please keep drawing. Please keep working. And remember, anytime you draw, you can always improve. You can edit it, but you can't edit a blank page. I do love y'all, and I'll see you all very soon. Likely Monday at 10 a.m. for Nevermind the Furthermore.